Okay, let's see. We can get out of here, and here, here. Somebody got to babysit the puppies in the kitchen. Somebody's in the kitchen.
What? Yeah. Lexi.
Hi, you're going to babysit the puppies while we do this?
Here, let's pull this out so everybody can see what you're doing. Come here. There you go.
I went too far.
Alright.
Go back.
Kick my feet up and wait.
Good Lord, come on here, machine.
Good girl, Chaos. She knows this too well.
I know, she's gone through about 2 cups of it already. That thing was full an hour ago.
It's about a third left.
I know, there's not much left at all. This is not behaving very well, this camera.
Oh, there's no medicine.
I guess that's as good as we're going to get. Oh, no, see, it jumps. We used to have just, what are they tearing up in there? Is that okay?
It's just a box.
It's just a box. Okay, look, I got everybody organized. There, I think that's it. That's as good as we're going to get. Okay, you're on, kid. Go ahead.
All right. How did you get involved with SCP, Joan? Back in 2000 and when did you guys start cameras? Well, back in 2012, my husband and I were living outside of Des Moines, Iowa, and I had just lost my very first Great Dane to cancer. And about a week later, my mom sent me or called me and said, I think you would like to watch these Great Dane puppies for service dogs online. So Chaos was pregnant with the first litter on camera, and I turned it on and watched her give birth to the puppies. Watched the first stillborn, called my mom and said, why did you make me watch this? This is terrible. But after the short heartbreak of losing little puppies at birth, I soon, just like all of you, grew to love what I was seeing. And beginning of 2014, well, end of 2013, my husband, with his company, got relocated to New England. We actually live up in New Hampshire, about an hour from here. And my goal was just to come and be a volunteer and a stay-at-home mom to my son. And about a week or two after I came to volunteer, Carlene was looking for kind of somebody to step into a training role, and I did. And so far it's worked out. So that's how I got here. What is the best way to introduce a new dog into a household when there's already a dog in the family? My personal opinion on that could be different from others, but I'm one to just introduce. Whenever I bring one of of course I know my other dogs very well, 2 of them being Danes. I have an English Bulldog as well who's very forward, not aggressive, but just very in your face. And anytime I bring a dog in training home, I usually just put them all in the backyard and they sniff and figure it out. To me, sometimes having 2 dogs on a leash or opposite can create tension between the 2. So I'm kind of a proponent for just letting them figure it out within reason. Obviously, you got to be there to monitor any aggression or anything like that.
I think I have a comment on that one.
Okay.
If you have two dogs on leashes and you pull one away,
Yeah.
this guy figures I chased him
Right.
and I'll kill you.
Exactly.
And that starts a problem a lot of times.
Now, I will say, we had taken our dogs down to Georgia a few weeks ago, and Bing was there, and Bing hasn't been neutered yet, and I had Tony there, and I just wasn't sure of, how the age, you just don't know.
Yeah.
So we did bring them in the backyard, and I think Cindy left Bing on a leash temporarily until I felt like I had control of the situation, but we did let them off the leash, but I had a whipple bat. So everybody was pretty much on their horses.
Allies are people with common enemies.
Yeah.
Pick up that whipple bat
So
before it all starts.
Yeah, I had it. And my
Before
dogs,
they all start and say, hey, you're going to behave.
Yeah, my dogs know better with the whipple bat. Bing hadn't really been around one, so I popped him on the butt once, and he was like, whoa. So then they knew that I was in charge at that point, so they were really good. In training, it's not obviously apparent first. How can you determine whether a pup will not be a service dog, but may be a fabulous failure, or a perfect
I don't think
pet?
they can hear this one.
I'm sorry. In training, if it's not obvious apparent at first, how can you determine,
Oh dear.
or at what point can you determine whether a pup will not be a service dog, but may or will be a perfect pet or a fabulous failure, and the criteria for each? That's a really tough question. Obviously, if it's something, if it's a physical thing that is apparent, for instance, Harry or Jake, that we could tell had some kind of physical issue with their back end, we obviously are not going to want to make that dog into a service dog that's providing balance for somebody else. So in those situations, it's pretty early on. I wouldn't say where our 31 puppies are at right now that any of them are exhibiting any signs like that. So it's not right away. Definitely not right away. We have had in the past a puppy or two be very food aggressive or just aggressive towards other dogs in general. So sometimes you kind of just have it in the back of your mind that that dog may or may not work out. But it's hard to, at such a young age, just like a child in my opinion, they have to learn. You have to give them some time. So a dog may exhibit a certain behavior early on that can be corrected through training and through time. So it's really hard to determine. That's why you see a lot of our dogs go until closer to a year, even a little over a year old, and then be washed out for a certain reason or another, just because we really want to give them the benefit of the doubt as long as we can. I mean, our goal is to have every dog here that's in the program be a service dog, and that's our ultimate goal. So there's really no steadfast rule when we know. And then too, I feel like it has to be kind of a consensus among all of us that we feel like the dog, we kind of all have to agree that the dog's not service material.
I think we're going to change chairs.
Okay.
Because somebody said they can't hear you.
They can't hear me? All right.
They certainly can hear you if you lower it.
Okay. All right. Is that better? Hopefully that's better. All right. So that was the answer to that question.
Now watch the phone ring. If it rings fast today.
All right. Where is it? Right here? 7. All right. Question for Katie. Do you have any aggression with the dogs there at all? Do you don't have it because they're all growing up together? My Xena has awful aggression when she is on the leash. Megan, Steve, and I do not tolerate aggression at all among the dogs, and we're pretty quick to reprimand any kind of behavior that way, and the pups are pretty respectful of all of us. So again, in terms of being like children, 9 times out of 10, they know that we're in charge and that we mean business and that their behavior isn't acceptable. there are times, just today, I don't know if any of you were watching, I wasn't here, but two of our girls had some puppies out in their little coats. Can they hear me on this? And I think Tumblr went after one of the other puppies, Addie. So it happens. I mean, it just happens for whatever reason, but we nip it in the bud and yeah. Overall, we really don't have a lot of aggression in general, unless it's a stud dog, but we really keep those dogs separate at all times. All right, just a second. We live in Des Moines, small world. Hi, Terry. We lived in West Des Moines. How do you teach the dogs to take steps that match the stride and pace of the human? That takes a lot of time and a lot of savvy. There's some techniques. A lot of it is with the use of the chain leash. We use the chain actually for the sound, not the tension around the neck. So snapping the leash to ask the dog to pay attention to us, to follow our pace. We use words like easy or walk with me. There's another, when a dog tends to pull a little bit, sometimes we'll just stop altogether. We take a moment and we do something called step whoa, and that's where we tell the dog to step, we take a step together, we whoa together. We take a step together, we whoa together. This really causes the dog to really focus on the handler and what they're doing. They can't be distracted, they can't pull, because it's one task at a time. So that tends to really work to get a dog to focus on what they're doing and match the pace. Some dogs are harder than others to match pace. And then once a dog is matched to their applicant, it can take up to 6 months for the dog to really match that person's pace. So a lot of what we do in public with our dogs is exactly that. We're working on obviously some manners of not having their nose and things, but it's really about them being focused on the handler and the walking.
Can I comment there?
Yeah.
One of the worst times, or the best times to do your step stop deal, is on stairs. I see a video of you doing it with George.
Mm-hmm.
And you get this step onto the next step and you step down, and they get the pairing easily going down the stairs. Your problem with stairs is the dog can see no reason at all not to jump the last two,
Exactly.
up or down. So at that point you have to get the communication going, no, this is a step stop deal. And that, I find the stairs a good way to
So what I do on the stairs, and what I have with the applicants or the recipients that I've worked with, is whether we're going up or down, it's always that second to last step. They just think, oh, I'll just go. It's one step away. So what we do is I say it's step whoa, each step down the stairs. When you touch that last step, because you should be going a step ahead of the dog when you're going down, and the dog should be going a step ahead of you going up. So let's just say going down the stairs, I should be taking that last step before my dog, and as my dog steps, I ask that person to say wait.
Yeah.
So when that dog touches that steps and you've said wait, it causes them to pause, and then you say okay to take that last step.
Yeah.
And that seems to work.
It can get, the last two steps up or down can get very bad.
It does, because then that
Well,
going
wait,
up,
why
that
are I
jerk,
up there?
that jerk up, yeah. What is the best way to help a dog overcome timidness? When I walk my dog, she will sometimes shut down and stop moving forward. That's a tough one.
Doesn't move at all.
Yeah, I don't know. Shuts down and stops moving forward. Okay, today I had Voodoo out.
Turn and go to right angle?
Yeah.
Do something else.
Yeah, exactly. Today I had Voodoo out. She is great walking. When there's a lot of people, she gets a little nervous and tends to want to just flatten to the ground. So I did exactly that. We were walking down the aisle. She goes to flatten down, and I immediately turned the other direction, and she got up and walked the other direction. Probably part of it was she's thinking, okay, I get to leave. But we weren't leaving. I was just changing her course because my goal at that time was just, we were walking in a straight line.
Yeah.
So maybe you can try to turn direction. Cookie, give her a cookie. Ask her up, praise. Tell her she's pretty, he or she. Is there a formal checklist that you grade each activity till they get all A's, B's, or F's? Yes. Probably the last 6 months or so, we've created some checklists. Here we have a checklist for the farm, and then we have a checklist off property for different tasks that we work on. Right now, I think we have a rating system of poor, fair, good, and excellent. I personally grade dogs based on where they are, what age they're at, rather than, I don't grade a puppy all pours and then grade a dog that's ready to be matched all E's. I kind of grade, did this puppy follow me up the hill? Yes, she did a good job, so I put a G. So I personally grade based on where they're at.
You're grading, what is it? What the hell do they call it? By age. You're taking into account the dog's age.
Yes.
Whether he's up to expectations at that age.
Correct, yeah. Rather than trying to project that I think excellent would be, I don't even know. So that's personally how I grade here. Katie, have any of the 31 puppies yet to ride solo shotgun on the golf cart like Queen or Riot? And if yes, who did the best, the worst, and rode about making you laugh the most? Please and thank you. Have any of the 31 puppies yet to ride on the golf cart? I haven't taken any of the puppies on the golf cart yet. Have you? No. I'm never on the golf cart. I typically walk this whole property, so they've all been in a car, I think. Maybe not yet. No, I guess they haven't. Just
The
Hokies.
humping question is the second time she's asked it.
The what question?
The humping one.
Okay, I haven't gotten there yet. Have you used your training skill or other SCP experiences in other situations? If I'm sure it was successful. I use a lot on my child.
Same thing.
Yeah, I use a lot of whoa, a lot of wait, leave it. That's a bad one. I guess it is successful. Any thoughts on who's a possible date for Tony? I have no idea.
Any what?
Like a breeding match for Tony. We're not there yet. I can't even think about puppies. We have our hands full. I'm sure he'll have something one day. Are Sarge and Brutus really as good of friends as it seems in pictures? Yes, they are. All three of them are the three amigos. They are love each other, and there's no aggression. I couldn't be happier with my three. I know at this age humping is dominance, but is there a time that it becomes too much and someone has to intervene? Yeah. I mean, if we see a puppy that just is relentless,
I don't allow it when I'm around because I'm the dominant one, thank you.
yeah.
Quit
I
it.
think they saw it today on Kennel 10 camera. Lint was humping Addie. But he's so young that, and actually, I'm sure a lot of you have seen at some point, even the females will hump the males. It's just a form of dominance, but I have yet to be here and see it as a problem ongoing with a dog.
The problem if they try and jump on a person.
True.
That would be bad.
Yes. That we don't tolerate, and we certainly won't tolerate humping in public. Carlene, have you considered an apprenticeship program?
Life is apprenticeship.
Funniest training story. I don't know that. I need to ponder these. I might have to get back to you on that on Monday.
Are you on Monday?
Yeah, I'm Saturday, Monday.
Oh, okay.
So let me think about that. Smiley 613 UK, and I'll get back to you.
Is it 5 o'clock yet?
Yes, it's 5:03. All right, let me hold on.
Brutus is such a cool dog. Yes, he's amazing. I'll never have another bulldog, but he's a good dog. Do you train differently for vets or people with MS?
Not to begin with.
No, I feel like anytime we're matching a dog, I mean, there may be certain little quirks that we do differently for a person, but in general, all of our dogs receive the same training. So
There are tendencies
yes, yeah,
that we will allow. A veteran sometimes likes to have a dog walk around them.
right.
So
Or
that might
be
one
in
case
front
where
a
we
lot.
just let 'em- they all have a natural tendency to cross in front of you anyway.
Right. Which is why a lot of times we're pushing over here, but.
Yeah. So.
But in general, we're showing them all the basic things that we train them. All right, I think that's all.
Okay, bye.
All right, see you guys on Monday.